Hey guys, Curtis here with you today. Today I want to go over these coasters here. So we have some good and some bad stuff to talk about here. But first let's go over the good stuff. The first obvious thing is the way they look. I know that is very kind of personal preference there on whether you like the way it looks or not. But obviously I like the way they looked or I wouldn't have purchased them. There are some different kind of colors here. I only have two of these left and I'll go over that in a minute. But this one over here, you can see it's a different color than this one. They have a very similar design, but this here has a little bit more of a bluish kind of grayish tint. This one, to tell you the truth, I don't know what color that is. I'm partially colorblind, so the colors are kind of faded to me anyway. But I think that's kind of a goldish, brownish, greenish color. But either way, I can at least tell they are different. So good looking coasters. Some of the good about them here again. Whenever you look down at the bottom, you can kind of see that's almost like a particle board type material. I'm sure that's probably not what it's actually called, but same stuff that's been around for a long time. It kind of has a good little, what do you call that? It almost feels like rubber. Like basically, whenever you sit on your counter, it's not going to slip and slide as much as if you put it down this way. Obviously, it's going to slip and slide a lot more. Also, if this thing gets moist or wet, which it probably would because it's a coaster, that's kind of what it's designed for. You know, you put your glass on here, the sweat, or what you call it, from the actual glass will get on here, and inevitably it's going to kind of go around the side, get underneath. So get some moisture under here. Again, that's going to keep it from slipping and sliding as much. The actual, let's see, part here. Again, this is the good and the bad. Well, actually, let me go over one more quick thing here. The actual holder comes in. I like the holder. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It sits there. You have a nice even spot to put all your stuff. So, I mean, good holder. No real issues with this. It does what it's supposed to do. It's functional. Looks fine. All right, so getting to the bad part. The bad part is also kind of part of the good part, actually. It's this actual material here. And I think the camera could pick this up. I'm just going to do it here close to the speakers in here. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't know if it's like glass, porcelain, don't know. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels in my hand. Again, this almost has a slight, very slight, but has almost a slight texture to it. It almost feels powdery to the touch, if that would be the right word for it. But I mean, it does good as far as my glasses, when I put on there, they don't slip and slide. I've never had a glass fall off of it randomly or anything. It does very good, even whenever kind of the glass gets wet, you know, the sweat or the moisture from it. That could be kind of actually why there's a powdery feel. Maybe that helps kind of absorb the wet from the glass, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, I like the way it looks and the way it functions. The downside of it is, I basically have butterfingers, man. I drop everything. I mean, I can't hold anything. If it just falls out, I'm surprised I've held on to it this long in the video. But this type of material does not do very well with impact. And neither does your glass you're putting on it, obviously. So I'm not recommending you take these things and chuck them across the room like a Frisbee. You know, they're not a toy. But just as a negative, I drop everything. And since this is relatively breakable here, if you drop it on a hard floor, it's you're going to have a chip, a chunk. I actually had one of them, you know, a good little quarter piece broke off of it. Again, it depends on the floor. My floor inside my house it's like a tile, like the entire house is that kind of tile that looks like wood. So anytime you drop glass on tile, it's not going to end very well. And again, they don't advertise this as unbreakable. They don't do anything as far as I know anyway. And again, you know what you're getting when you're buying this stuff. But again, that's just something I wanted to point out, that if you do have a tendency to drop a whole bunch of stuff around your house, this may be something you want to think about a little bit. I know when I was a kid, my mom had ones that were made out of wood, and it didn't matter what I did to those things. I mean, short of chucking against a wall, those things, they lasted forever. These things, on the other hand, again, they look very nice, but again, if you drop stuff, if you have a kid around the house that's, you know, throwing stuff around like I did when I was a kid, again, that's just something that you keep in mind. But I would still recommend it. I mean, I like the way they look and they work perfectly. They work the way they're supposed to. Again, I'm just pointing out something that you may not really think about. Again, that type of material doesn't do very well if you drop it on a tile a whole bunch of times. But there you go, guys. I hope somebody out there got something from this video, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.